Welcome back to the Pleb Underground. I am your host, Phil. All right, guys, we've got some awesome stories to dive into. Let's take a look at what we're going to be talking about today. So we got another company here, Grupo Murano, a Mexican real estate company. Guess what? They're going to be buying Bitcoin, and the looks like the ETH ETF kind of hit a roadblock. So we're going to take a look at that. Take a look at why the ETH ETF hit a roadblock. And while new Bitcoin treasury companies are raising new funds with new debt, there's existing companies like Marathon Holdings, who are Bitcoin miners, that are raising new capital. That's right, $850 million to buy some more Bitcoin. And we're also going to take a look. See, it looks like the Bank of England is pretending that they don't care about a CBDC anymore because corporations can issue stable coins. What's that really all about? We're going to dive into this and more. Guys, just a quick word from our sponsor, and we're going to be right back. Here we go. Pleb Underground is sponsored by Archimedes Emporium. Discover the pinnacle of precision engineering, starting with their Bitcoin logo wall clock, meticulously machined in Maine from a solid block of aerospace-grade aluminum, ensuring unparalleled durability and performance. Experience the difference of a product made without compromise. Head on over to Archimedes Emporium. Okay, we are back, and we are going to take a look. We're going to start off on a light note first. We are going to go take a look at this interesting video, guys. This is a great example of how not to store your seed phrase.
I know, it would be on the normal state of Nevada badge.
Quick question. You have access to a database to see if somebody is staying in
So there's like steps too. I don't know what siren.
Oh, this is that crypto shit. This is a crypto phrase.
Oh, okay, that's.
Okay.
Remember how
yeah.
I was telling you guys
Yep.
random words?
Okay.
So he might have insurance stuff.
Yeah. He's going there.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of hoping. I mean, that seems like it's real. I don't know if somebody can add to the comments. Let me know. But that is, why are you carrying your seed phrase around, seemingly in the car or possibly in your pocket? Like, I don't know. It's just bad ideas, guys. Don't do that. Don't do that. And writing your seed phrase down, of course, is a good practice. Obviously, you want to make sure you're not doing that in front of any cameras or microphones or anything. You really want to be sitting completely alone in a pretty much a Faraday cage, if possible. But that's not the end of it. I do find it useful to yeah, exactly. Should we try to restore it? Everybody has the screen on pause. The seed plates, though. The steel seed plates. I find that those, in terms of making you feel better, giving you peace of mind, I find the seed plates work a little bit better than the paper. But anyways, it's good to have a backup to your backup for your backup. All right. So speaking of backups, more companies, right? More Bitcoin treasury companies on the way. This was announced yesterday. That's right. Grupo Murano's. It looks like I did say billion. Yeah, $1 billion Bitcoin bet. Yeah. So, Grupo Murano. I know you guys hate it when I do this stuff, but I can't help it. So, ticker symbol MRNO. Less than 1 year of cash runway. Earnings have declined by 113% over 5 years. The volatile share price, I don't really care about. But look. Oh, wait, is that a pump and dump chart? Kind of is. I know. I'm that guy. You know, nobody really wants the truth. Everybody just wants to feel good about their bags. That's fantastic, right? I want to feel good about my bags too. That's why I hold Bitcoin. That's why I don't buy this kind of crap, right? Because it's just games. Guys, like, that's all this is, okay? Wall Street has handed Bitcoin treasury companies the money printer for now. Everybody's cheering. It's all wonderful. If you think for a second that the majority of these Bitcoins are going to survive or even better, thrive, Sorry, I'm that guy that's telling you that that's not what's going to happen. Unfortunately, that is not what's going to happen. But I digress. We're watching the show go on, and hey, you know, why not? We're going to cheer for all these companies in the meantime. But my personal opinion is that I would not be buying these shares thinking that they are going to somehow go to the moon because Bitcoin goes up forever. Yeah, I just don't see it. Anyways, moving on, right? While we've got new companies raising fresh capital, we've got existing companies who raised capital not too long ago and are raising capital again. So there we go, right? Mara Holdings announces proposed private offering of 850 million of zero coupon convertible senior notes, right? So that's just stuff that's redeemable at some point in the future. So look, when I had Portland Hoddle on the show, I asked him about this. I said, I don't understand something. If they're a Bitcoin miner and Bitcoin mining is so lucrative for them, why are they taking on debt to buy more Bitcoin? And essentially, he explained it to me as they are front running themselves, so to speak, right? Because Bitcoin's going up forever. So they're taking on cheap debt and front running themselves. Okay, granted, I'm not gonna disagree with that. Everybody is entitled, all businesses, right? It's like, business is a risk, right? Every single day you wake up, you walk out the door, it's a risk. So, hey, hats off to you. You know, you guys want to take that risk. Personally, though, I feel as though it's a red flag. That's all. I don't see how a business that makes its money mining Bitcoin for whatever reason can't seem to find its way out of debt, and constantly needs to essentially borrow against the future to pay for today. Does that sound familiar? Borrowing from the future to pay for today kind of sounds like the fiat system, doesn't it? Yes, of course. And of course, this is all part of the speculative attack on the dollar, right? So that makes us feel good. But yeah, let's take a look at those the Mara Holdings, right? So there you go. They got one reward over here, right? Their revenue is forecast to grow 19% per year, right? That's pretty decent. This is the thing that scares me, though, guys. Currently unprofitable and not forecast to become profitable over the next 3 years. You know, if you're looking at this and you're thinking this is going to be good stuff, look, again, if you're just speculating, by all means, speculate. Who cares, right? But if you're looking to hold these shares for a lengthy amount of time, I would suggest just looking at holding Bitcoin in self-custody instead of buying this to get exposure to Bitcoin. And if that doesn't freak you out enough, right, you could just take a look at the share price versus fair value. And of course, right, this is, these metrics, they can all be tampered with and whatnot. But guys, I don't know, 195,000% overvalued. Like the fair value analysis is 1 cent. And again, that doesn't mean anything, right? We've seen lots of really big companies, right? We've seen lots of companies essentially grow into their valuation, right? You've seen businesses like eBay do it, businesses like Adobe, businesses, not Google so much, because Google surprisingly was fairly valued even when it IPO'd. Anyways, all right, moving on from Marathon, we're going to take a look at this Bank of England story, right? This Bank of England story. This is kind of, for me, this is interesting because, as I've said in the past, I believe this is all just a giant show. Okay, so the Bank of England considers shelving plans for a digital pound. Okay, so what they're saying, right, is they can have similar benefits without the creation of a CBDC for consumers, according to people familiar with the matter. The central bank wants to be in a position to launch a CBDC if it is eventually warranted. That to me looks like the writing on the wall. Okay. That to me right there is saying, hey, look, we don't want to make a CBDC. These private corporations are doing fantastic. But in the case that we must step in to save everyone, we're going to be prepared with our central bank digital currency. Guys, make no mistake. We're watching a show. This is just a show. It's a dance, right? When you dance, you move back and forth, right, side to side. This is how it works. So I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing a scenario where all of these private corporations issue all of these stable coins, and oh my gosh, something unpredictable, something unforeseen, a black swan event occurs, and all of a sudden these private businesses and their stable coins go under, and the benevolent government must step in and provide security, stability. And you do that with a central bank slave token that you ask the government for. You say, please help us fix this. The government goes, no problem. They'll always give us enough rope to hang ourselves with. Okay. And then benevolently step in to save us from the hanging that we have caused ourselves. This is just par for the course. We're just watching a show. Anyways, yeah, good luck with all of that. Good luck with the pretend we're not doing a CBDC, but we are doing a CBDC. Okay, so you guys may have also seen, right, that Bitwise's crypto ETF, right? They were going to make an ETH ETF, and it was approved, and then it was halted, right? Like, what ended up actually happening? So it looks like the SEC approved Bitwise's plans to turn their fund into an ETF, but they essentially realized that they were holding a basket. They're holding a basket of different tokens, right? Like, most of it was Bitcoin and Ethereum, but they've got some Solana, and they've got some XRP, and as a result, that's not actually approved. They can't actually do this basket with these other tokens because these other tokens haven't actually been classified yet. And this is actually very similar to what happened with Grayscale as well. So, the ETH guys seem to think that this is just 5D chess or whatever it is, and this is going to be some giant some giant play to make the bags pump even more and blah blah blah. I gotta tell you guys, I just don't. You know what? I was already weary, right? You guys can see that I am obviously concerned with companies that make no real revenue, that take on debt just to buy Bitcoin in the hopes that they're always going to be able to refinance that debt to issue more shares to buy more Bitcoin to continue to pay the bills, right? That totally sounds legit and can go on for infinity, 100%. /S, right? Sarcasm. Anyways, but when it comes to the shitcoin ones, right? These companies that are attempting to make XRP treasuries, trying to attempt to make ETH treasuries, right? Like that ETH machine I showed yesterday that totally looks like a Rube Goldberg machine. I think that those guys are actually way worse off than the Bitcoin treasury companies that are borrowing against Bitcoin. I definitely think that we are going to see a massive bear market from all of these shenanigans. I understand that the tide raises all boats, but I also understand that when the tide pulls out, we see everybody who's metaphorically swimming naked. And unfortunately, all of these shitcoin shenanigans, it was all naked before Wall Street bestowed the money printer upon us. So why would it somehow become better now? Like, the qualities of these shitcoins haven't changed. I just don't get it. Anyways, guys, be safe out there. It's definitely getting crazy. We're definitely starting to see the exuberance take hold, right? To me, seeing these shitcoin ETF products coming to life or attempting to come to life, that means, in my eyes, we're leading up to the froth, right? We're kind of leading up to the froth, which, timing wise, hey, look, we're the end of July, August, September, October. Yeah, there you go. Maybe about another 3.5 months. We'll see. Anyways, enjoying the news. And of course, guys, we are going to keep covering everything. Look, you guys may have also noticed that throughout the, I've been doing Pleb Underground now for, it's going to be, I think it's going to be 3 years next week. And you could tell that the content has evolved, has changed. Started off just doing a lot of video clips and the weekly show with Walton. And now I'm doing more daily live shows. I just, you know what, in the end, even though the clips were really fun to do, and I do plan on doing more of them in the future, I'm going to stick to doing the daily stories, because number one, I really enjoy it. It keeps me engaged as well. And based on what I'm seeing in terms of Bitcoin signal out there, apparently you need some counter narrative. That's how I feel, because I feel I need some counter narrative. So yeah, guys, lock in. We're doing this daily show. This is it. This is what's happening. All right, that's it for us today. I will catch you on the next one. Take it easy.